I have something to play for you, a clip of Donald Trump Jr., son of Donald Trump, that is honestly priceless. Now, the context for why I came across this was I am preparing, and we're going to do it still today, a Good Liars segment, the duo of comedians who interview Trump supporters and go to different events and do a fantastic job. And we're going to cover a few of their moments. And in so diving into their content, I came across a moment from a little while ago of Donald Trump Jr. being confronted over the 2020 election and his father's 2020 election lies. And this clip that you're about to watch embodies so much the weak argument from those who deny the 2020 election results and who will inevitably deny if Trump loses the 2024 election results. And so watch as he's confronted, asked for evidence. He cites things that are so far from evidence, it's humiliating. And then he runs away quickly as he realizes he doesn't exactly have an argument to what the interviewer is posing. Here it is.
Who do you think won the 2020 election?
I think Donald Trump did.
But why? Because there's kind of a lack of, evidence, right?
You know, it's the whole not being able to complete a sentence by the existing president, someone who can sit there and talk about losing his Corvette.
What about the 7 million votes? What about the 7 million votes?
Expanding our American energy policy. It's about...
I'm going to quickly pause your viewing of this video to ask you to subscribe to this YouTube channel if you want to help us continue to grow. Just click that subscribe button. It's free, it's easy, but it's very helpful.
Every failure imaginable from the Biden...
But what about all the lost court cases, though? Like, all of them. So I just talked to Don Jr. I asked him who won the 2020 election. He said that his dad did, but then he didn't have any proof, and he started talking about all kinds of stuff that had nothing to do with the election at all. Hey, thanks for... Fucking asshole.
Oh my gosh. So then scurrying off, as you could see, and because this clip comes from after a GOP debate in 2023, August of 2023, it reminded me, wait, maybe now's the time to go reflect on some of my favorite Donald Trump Jr. And by favorite, I mean least favorite? I don't know. Some notable Donald Trump Jr. moments. And before doing that, let's just go through what was said. So you make a claim like the election was stolen, something that would be an absurd, unprecedented, first time in American history, democracy crumbling sort of conspiracy, right? It would take so many people and powerful people to coordinate something that would be that significant, stealing an election. And so that means if you're going to make such a bold claim, you got to come with some strong evidence to justify that. And we've gone through this before, but it's hilarious to see him, the flimsy argument he's able to bring forward, which is first, Biden can't complete a sentence, which... how that at all means that he didn't win the election, even though obviously I take issue with that characterization. And also I think he should look at his father's track record with glitches as of recently. And then he goes on to cite a bunch of what he perceives to be policy failures from Biden's presidency now. Which, think about the logic there. Biden couldn't have won the election before he became president because he's not doing a good job as president now. What? We've seen MAGA timeline warps, but that's one the likes of which you rarely see. And he said that Biden's crushed American energy. Obviously, energy production domestically is at record highs under President Joe Biden. But how that connects to if he won an election before he could have had any of those policy achievements or failures, however you see them, is very, very beyond me. Now, let's do a little bit of reflection on some past Donald Trump Jr. moments because he's quite the character, and we'll start with this one that I think might be my favorite from a Turning Point USA event.
I get it. My guys, who I stayed in touch with, many of them just dear friends, they're like, hey, dude, there's no way you would have gotten away with that. I go, I know. Luckily, I don't snort cocaine. Like, it's not my thing.
What's that noise? It's now been... let's see. I don't remember when this clip was from, but maybe I can pull it up here and find out. July 16th, 2023. So it's almost been a year, and I still can't figure out what the noise is. Here it is again.
I get it. My guys, who I stayed in touch with, many of them just dear friends, they're like, hey, dude, there's no way you would have gotten away with that. I go, I know. Luckily, I don't snort cocaine. Like, it's not my thing.
I don't snort cocaine. Oh, goodness gracious. And I have another moment. Well, I guess this one's themed correctly. So in the same vein, I'll show you this.
It's bad. I mean, you realize it's the highest it's ever been in 40 years. No, but it hasn't gone up. It hasn't spiked since then. It's no, but the 40-year high, Joe, the 40-year high, that is the spike. You think that, it didn't go...
Why does he talk like that? I don't understand. Why does his father talk one way? 40-year high. And he talks a different way. And they're both just so strange and out of this world. And you know what's weird to think about? And I hate to bring the mood down so much because we're trying to have a fun weekend segment. Come on now. But these are the people who could contribute to the downfall of democracy. Think about that. And we've seen this historically. We've seen that you can have people who aren't taken seriously, who seem buffoonish, as per our previous clips, but end up supporting someone and enabling someone, and that person can also be cartoonish and can still do such horrific damage and be authoritarian. And so the threat is serious, but occasionally, to relieve some of that dread that we feel about the scary political moment that we're in, we really do have to laugh at the absurdity of some of these individuals. And before I play this next moment, that also is going to send me into a giggle fit, for lack of a better term, let me know in the comments. Producer Jack, okay, he's been encouraging me to ask you all questions, which I love because then we get to hear what you thought of something. And so I'm going to blame him for this question because it's a little more aggressive than I like to be. Which Trump child do you think Trump likes the least? You can let me know in the comments. That's not my question, but you can answer it. Here's the next moment from Donald Trump Jr.
A shared desire to keep quiet. Early on, Biden's attorneys and Justice Department investigators both thought they had a shared understanding about keeping the matter quiet, but they had very different reasons. I mean, seriously, they could be leveraging the fact that they have
I've ever seen someone use air quotes for 14 seconds straight. You know, it makes no sense. Okay, so the last segment, the reason that we're returning to Donald Trump Jr. also is you all very much enjoyed. And again, it's sort of that you enjoyed it because you didn't enjoy it, but you very much engaged with my last segment that I did about Donald Trump Jr. And I think it's that contrast of knowing that he's supportive of and the son of this incredibly influential and potentially destructive person to American democracy. And at the same time, he's like a cartoon character who's supposed to make you laugh with how much he sort of embarrasses himself in these different moments, and not someone you would take seriously, but it is very serious. So that, I think, is what is intriguing about someone like Donald Trump Jr. and some of these other figures. But just as a reminder of my last segment, if you missed it, you can find it on the channel. But here's a little summary of Donald Trump Jr.'s last podcast, Triggered, where he got really fixated on his fiance and how much he wishes that he didn't have to be in the room with his fiance quite as much. Here's a compilation of some of the moments from that podcast.
But Kimberly for press secretary, perfect. You know what? That'd be great. She can do like 6 days a week in Washington, D.C. I get peace and quiet. Everyone wins. Don't tell her I said that. That would be trouble. Cash for AG, Kim for press secretary. Yeah, listen, I think Kim for press secretary is a great idea. Okay, I think, she moves up to D.C. I get like 4 years of peace and quiet. Like I said, everyone wins. Everyone wins. But Kimberly is not too wishy-washy. Yeah, that's if there's one thing Kimberly is not, it's that. So Don Jr. sleeping on the couch tonight. Fact check, true. But hey, listen, sometimes you sleep on the couch and it's just worth it because it's just worth it. So yeah, if Kim is watching, I'm probably in trouble. If you guys know her, you're probably texting her right now. Hopefully she's not watching. Kim has a great voice. Yeah, Kim's an animal. Like she'd be good at that. She's, like I said, I think she'd do a great job at the job. I get peace and quiet. Everyone wins. You think she's tough? You think I don't have to put up with that shit? I do. That doesn't just turn off. When you're not on a show or you're not on TV. Kim is a gem. Look at you guys kissing ass. Now you're trying to make me look bad. We could make Kim AG. She's a lawyer. She's an undefeated prosecutor. She, again, and I still win because she's in D.C. for 4 years. Come on, weekends will be great. It's fine.
It just does not make sense. It does not make sense that a grown adult who is as well known as Donald Trump Jr. is, and thus you assume has some responsibility to, I don't know, have social awareness, that he would proactively volunteer that much negative information. And yeah, it was supposed to be a joke, but the repetitiveness of it was indicative of a serious issue. So we'll leave that for him to sort out in his personal life. Let me know what you thought of that, like I said, in the comments, and you can answer Jack's just rude, insensitive question that I would never dare ask: which Trump child is the least favorite to their father?